Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth, its sacrament, and service, its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. Amen. In my favorite book from childhood, Harriet the Spy by Louise Fitzhugh, Harriet Welsh is a well-to-do 11-year-old only child living on New York's Upper East Side. Her best friend, Sport, also an only child, lives with his single father, an often unemployed writer. One day, Harriet visits Sport while on a break from her spy route, and Sport shows her his household accounting system. Harriet finds all of her friends' neatly stacked ledgers boring and remarks, "I hate money." To which Sport responds, "Well, you'd jolly well like it if you didn't have any." Harriet realizes that he's right, and she's never had to think about it. "But isn't it just a lot of math?" she asks Sport. Reading this for the first time as a math-hating kid myself, I wanted to know. Something about this scene felt very important to me. What was it that felt so hushed and even sacred about sports ledgers stacked in a carefully locked desk? He responds to Harriet and to all the readers, "The math isn't hard. That's not it. I can't explain. Don't you know what I mean? Then you know where everything is." I have thought often over the years of sports' precocious understanding, not just of the practicality of accounting and money, but of its emotional and even existential relevance. This sixth grader explains to his friend Harriet that if he doesn't immediately take the checks that his father earns, the money is gone in a day. And his father goes in his room and shuts the door, and they don't eat. So understanding and being able to manage money prevents sport not just from actual hunger, but also from the emotional helplessness represented by the shut door behind which his devastated dad hides and cries or broods or drinks or sleeps. Knowing how money works and where it is grants sport some degree of power, even as a minor. He was not just a responsible child, but a wise one. It's quite obvious why all the major world religions and many of the minor ones emphasize the giving of alms, living in simplicity bordering on poverty or even embracing it, and the sharing of financial assets on the moral grounds that all shall have enough and none shall want. This is an understanding of the divine economy in, again, many world religions. The religion preached by the historical Jesus, not the religion about Jesus, was explicitly financially communitarian. This fact is very conveniently forgotten by the vast majority of the world's most vocal Christians today. But holding all financial assets in community was a cornerstone of Jesus's idea of the beloved community. When early Christian converts were baptized, they gave their personal wealth into the keeping of the community, which I assume gave much of it away. I don't know how many committee meetings this all required, but I do agree with G.K. Chesterton, who said, "The Christian ideal has not been tried and found wanting. It has been found difficult and left untried." The Greek term oikonomia, whence comes our term economy, referred in the ancient times to all of the management of the church and its handlings of all matters, its daily doings, what we would call today policies and procedures. Theologia referred to matters of God. Oikonomia referred to all the ways that the people of God handled their household matters, if you will. All things were part of the economy, which was generated from the divine economy, and the Orthodox understanding of that being that God generously grants unto God's people his own self on behalf of humanity. Pledge season, starting with the letter that you all received a couple of weeks ago from our stewardship team, is our time to look at our household economy as a church and to reflect in a serious and intentional way on our contributions to the operating budget. We don't go so far as to hold all of our financial assets in common, but we most definitely do share spiritual assets in a kind of a spiritual commonwealth. Some of those assets that we freely contribute are prayer energy, leadership skills, teaching and mentoring, song, poetry, a passion for organizing, humble willingness to learn from each other and from our experiences, hospitality, welcoming, baking, serving, deep listening. These we offer again and again, mixing it up, changing it day after day, year after year, drawing energy and inspiration from giving of ourselves, from our life force, to this shared and ideally transforming endeavor. These gifts make our church strong. And so do our financial gifts. And we therefore contribute money, a portion of what we have financially. We give not as to a charity, but to support and to sustain our household. Our offerings bring the vitality of today's living congregation to our operations, which is an important balance to a congregation that relies very heavily on gifts given long ago by our beloved dead. Thank you for your pledge to the 2021-22 Stewardship Campaign, the fiscal year that begins on July 1st, 2021, when, God willing, we will have been able to be together in body as well as in spirit. Your pledge is a promise, and each one, we know, comes with it your life force and your much needed and cherished hopes and visions for our future.
Searched in the gloom, you couldn't see me. I couldn't see you, a heavy darkness filled the room. No, I couldn't see you, but still I knew that you were there, and you felt it too. Your song isn't mine, and isn't yours. We call to each other across miles, across time. The things I was taught to love and to hate keep us apart. They keep me from hearing you. So come meet me here in this patch of land. We'll build a new song in the days without fear. Come let us try, come let us see a patch of light for the aching world, and let our song forever be a patch of light for all to see. Oh, a patch of light. A patch of light. Here between us, right here we stand. A patch of light, whose darkness cannot touch. Come meet me here in this patch of light. We'll build a new song without hate, without fear. Come let us try, come let us see a patch of light for the aching world, and let our song forever be a patch of light for all to see. Let our song forever be a patch of light, for all to see. Come meet me here in the